The Monster Energy Supercross portion of the 2023 racing season, all part of the Super Motocross World Championship, presented a wild ride until the brakes were slammed in the proceedings late and Chase Sexton emerged with his first 450 title. His win also broke a 20-year run without a 450 championship for Honda. But quickly, racing is set to renew again in the Pro Motocross Championship, and now Honda packs two contenders, Sexton and 450 rookie and two-time 250 motocross champion, Jett Lawrence. With the rest of the field pared down by injuries, will the summer title drama take place solely under the Red Rider tent? Or can Dylan Ferrandis return to his title ways on a Yamaha? Can someone else emerge from the fray, get healthy, and win? It's time to preview it all in the Monster Energy Racer X 450 Pro Motocross Preview Show. Oh yeah, we're back! Welcome to your Monster Energy Motocross season preview videos brought to you by Monster Energy, also Matthes, Maxima. Got some new Ray toys back here and fly racing as well. Just like we do in Supercross and in this Pro Motocross Championship every year for Racer X, I'm Jason Weigandt. We have Jason Thomas, former racer in the series, and former factory mechanic and current internet rabble-rouser Steve Matthes with us as well. As we talk about the Pro Motocross Championship, this is our 450 show. We'll be back with a 250 episode right after this. But the 450 class, gentlemen, look, this has changed massively in the last month from an epic, super deep, so many guys can win title fight to a much more, Steve, can I use the term focused championship fight between a few last men standing from Supercross?
Yeah, man, this is going to be a real interesting series. We have two guys that we know are going to be strong and going to be great. We got a past champion that's right there. And then I don't know each after that. After the three guys, Jason Anderson is going to join early in the series. Justin Barcia may be at Paula, but he won't be 100%. Cooper Webb's going to join later on. Yeah, it's going to be a weird series, a different series, and not one that we thought we'd saw like a month ago, like you said.
Yeah, so the two proven riders coming in are the two riders that just came off of Monster Energy Supercross titles, Chase Sexton in the 450 class, and of course he went toe-to-toe for the title last year, and Jett Lawrence, who's the 250 West champ and two-time 250 motocross champ, going to the 450 class for the first time as a full-time rider starting this summer. And then, of course, Dylan Ferrandis, who we've seen very little of over the last 2 years, but was dominant in winning this title in 2021, JT. So really, to me, that's the landscape. It's those three. What do you think?
It's hard to argue against that. If you'd asked me a month ago, I could make a case for several guys going into this championship, but it's been we've lost a lot of guys, including people like Jason Anderson, who had a breakout year, I felt, in Pro Motocross last year. Justin Barcia was having a career year. So it's been a tough go. So I think we should be very thankful that, one, Ferrandis is coming back, and two, we have one of the most exciting riders of the last generation, and Jett Lawrence moving to this class as well.
Yeah, and the big story is, of course, Eli Tomac, the defending champ, was not planning on coming back. When he was done in motocross last year after winning the title in a great battle with Sexton, that was going to be the end of his motocross career. He decided to renew, race not just Supercross, but also motocross. But now, the strangest injury that we'll reference forever, the ruptured Achilles, while leading the Supercross Championship and the race over a routine step over table. And we will not see Eli Tomac this summer. Steve, there was so much anticipation of a rematch between Chase and Eli, and then inserting Jett into that and Ferrandis as well. Is it kind of a bummer if we never get to see the Jett Lawrence, Eli Tomac, or Tomac on a Yamaha against Ferrandis on a Yamaha battle? We might never get this.
Yeah, it is going to be a shame if we don't, right? I know Jett was looking forward to it, and we were too. Now, having talked to some guys like Dave Giannolfi, who tore his Achilles, originally we were all thinking like stick and ball stuff, or like Eli's going to hang it up. There's a chance he's ready for 2024 Supercross and maybe 2024 Nationals thereby, and maybe we get ourselves a battle. Yep. I still would put odds against it, but the odds aren't as slim today as they were when Eli did that. So maybe we get it, Weege. But it's interesting. I was just kind of looking at the last year's standings, and 8 out of the top 10 in 450 motocross will not be either 100% or start the opener. So 8 out of the top 10, either not there or not ready to go at the opener in Paula. And so, yeah, that's a tough blow to the series, man. But you know what? Dylan Ferrandis is going to make it exciting, I hope. And we know those top two guys. I mean, look, Sexton and Tomac were pushing each other so hard, and they were so much better than everybody else by the end of the season. But we all think Jett can get to that level, right?
Yeah, JT, that's the anticipated battle. I know that Ferrandis is good, but the drama everyone wants are the two Honda teammates. That's what the battle that everyone, I think, is anticipating at this point with Tomac out.
Yeah, and I would have questioned Jett's first year jumping up into this 450 class, how that was going to go, because the bar was set so high last summer. But I felt like that was put to rest at the Motocross of Nations. When you saw Jett go out on that stage against those guys they were peak form, right? They went out and won the Motocross Nations for the first time in, I don't know, 11 years or 12 years or whatever it had been. So I think he made a statement there. And I was kind of joking, it's Jett or Chase's like had to be so happy about, maybe Tomac missing this series. And like, of course he wanted to beat him straight up and all that, but there had to be some sort of relief there until someone reminded, oh yeah, well, you just have to deal with your teammate over here, Jett Lawrence. So don't forget about that. But yes, I do think this is setting up perfectly. And I think we also have, I don't know how to phrase it, but they're both really young, right? Where before it was this, older statesman of the series, Eli Tomac versus the new guy, Chase Sexton. And I think they were so respectful to each other because of that. Like Eli wasn't worried about his legacy because he knew like, I could walk away and I'm a multi-time champ. Who cares? And Sexton's like, well, he's not going to be around forever. I'm not that worried about him. Plus, I respect everything he's ever done. I think that dynamic is much different between Chase and Jett. Doesn't mean that they're not going to ride respectfully towards each other. Of course, they are teammates, but they have to be looking at each other as, okay, one of us is going to probably have all these championships and the other guy maybe doesn't. And this is going to be the first opportunity to set the stage for all of these years to come, because everybody looking from the outside is going, those two look like they are the future, those two right there. And we could see championships pass between them for the next 5 to 10 years, a la Ryan Dungey and Ryan Villopoto. So it's exciting to see the kind of the first salvo and see how that goes. And, both of them are on equal equipment. So it's going to be a pretty fair fight. We'll worry about 2024 Supercross and 2024 Pro Motocross when it gets there. But we have an 11-round fight on our hands that's about to kick off.
Yeah, and
let me just update this. Sorry. I just went further back. 15 out of the top 20 in points.
No.
Either will not be on the line at Paula or will not be either anywhere near 100%. 15 out of the top 20 from 2022. So we got ourselves some big changeover here. Just interesting fact.
You sure Dungey and Curley are not coming back? We're not getting Curley and Dungey back?
Well, yeah, not sure. Not 100% sure. You never know.
Did we know they were racing at this time last year, even a week out?
Yeah, good point. But yeah, absolutely. So we're going to see some big turnover, big change. Now, obviously, Ferrandis was 24th in points and didn't make the top 20 cutoff that I just made. But Dylan Ferrandis to me is the real wild card here, guys. This will be his 6th series as a 450 rider since jumping up. He's only stayed healthy for 1, and in that 1, he won the 450 outdoor title. Can he do it again? Can he get to that level? Can he bring it? I mean, the odds say he's going to get hurt. He's literally only finished 1 series. So maybe you got to think about him not being able to finish this one. But that's the wild card to me. When he jumped into the series last year, he was very fast. He looked great. But then guess what? He got hurt. He couldn't even finish the second half of the year. So can he run that speed? I think he can. Can he stay injury-free? I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that's why, JT, that's the point you made. There's so much talk about Sexton versus Jett, because even if Ferrandis is in there this summer, there's this massive generational shift. Ferrandis and a ton of other guys that we've already mentioned, the ones that are out right now, are all in that late 20s, early 30s age. They're going deeper into ages than they've ever gone before, but it has to end eventually for these guys, for Anderson, for Barcia, for Malcolm Stewart, for Christian Craig, for Tomac, all these guys that are about 30 years old. And then suddenly there's nothing left except the 23-year-old Sexton. What is Jett? 20, 19?
19.
Yeah. 19, right? So you're just looking at, for age, 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line, those are the two guys. And let's not forget the added drama that they're pitted out of the same truck. And we believe they won't be coming next year, where the Lawrence brothers seem to be the future at Honda, and Sexton wanted to go another direction. So that already points to how well are they going to be able to mesh onto the same truck? And I'll throw another question. Matthes, I'll go to you first, and then I'll ask you this, JT. Obviously, Sexton has more 450 experience. He went to the wall last year with Tomac in this series, but he said he has not tested for outdoors at all because he was focused on Supercross.
Whoa.
Oh, here we go.
We debunked this.
You debunked
Steve,
this.
We debunked this. Steve, jump in here. But
Go
this
ahead.
was a pivotal turning point of Monday night's show. Go ahead.
That's why we're here. Debunk Sexton we haven't tested.
Just another example of Weigandt being fake news, not understanding what is going on. We had Chase Sexton on the Pulp MX show, and I brought that question up because we do sometimes see people who are focused in the 450 Supercross title not jump on outdoors. It's not an unusual thing. But Chase on the show said, "Oh no, I've been riding some outdoors. We tested some setups. I went with last year's stuff. We're going to try to get better, of course, as always. But no, I have ridden outdoors. I rode some outdoors to take sort of the stress off of Supercross. So yeah, Weege."
That's great. You have the same exact source I do. It started with Sexton saying, "I haven't tested. I've just ridden." And the testing starts Tuesday after Supercross, which was yesterday for us when we're completing this show. And then Shane Drew, the crew chief, said, "We have not tested at all outdoors with Chase. We have not tested at all." That's what he said at Salt Lake City. So we have these same sources. Apparently the difference between riding outdoors and testing outdoors is giving us different answers.
Well,
interesting.
I will jump in and say that both of these could possibly be true because their motorcycle didn't change, right? So he's going in with settings that he left last summer with that he's probably very happy with. And he could have just been riding, as he said, doing motos on the setup that he's very likely to race with. And then they could go in this week, starting yesterday, let's say, and do some testing. No problem. See where we're at. See if we have anything we like better. But when your motorcycle hasn't changed and you are phenomenal all summer long, you usually don't want to steer or veer too far away from that. So maybe we're getting shades of gray. I was just under the impression from talking to you that he had just been riding Supercross day after day after day, and I'll worry about motocross when it gets here. To me, the fact that he's been practicing, he's going to be fine. Like, that's what I was worried about, is like, if you haven't been riding motocross at all, there is going to be I don't want to say a learning curve, but it's going to take some time to transition over. Like, he's not going to be his best self right away. But as he said on the show, if he's been riding since April, he should be fine. And to me, when you have the same motorcycle, the testing is almost irrelevant. You just make sure nothing's off. Maybe you have a couple new parts to try, and then you go racing.
Yeah, let's just leave it with Weege not getting the correct facts. We'll just leave it at that. So
he said he's been riding, not testing. I said he hasn't been testing. I didn't say he hasn't been riding. As for his teammate, as for Jett Lawrence, there's been a ton of testing, which is necessary because he doesn't have a 450 from last year. Is there any chance, JT, even though Jett is the newcomer to the 450s, that he's actually more prepared in a way coming into this championship than Sexton? Because obviously Jett was not sweating this 250 Supercross title, and you only race half as many weekends. Is there a chance he's more ready at round one, even though he's the rookie?
It's an interesting question, but I think when you factor in how good both of these two have been at this particular racetrack, they've both been amazing at Fox Raceway. And, you know, Chase has been on this platform for a lot of racing now. He's ridden it through 2 Supercross seasons, an outdoor season. So I think he should be pretty dialed in. And also keep in mind that Jett wanted to ride the 450 even earlier, but that postponed Oakland round derailed some of the 450 plans they had in place. So I think it's a little bit of a wash. Chase has so much 450 experience. Even with Jett maybe starting a little bit earlier, it's really hard to negate how much more 450 experience than that Chase has versus Jett. So I think we're truly going to see a battle of the Titans at the opener. I know Ferrandis is going to be good. I just wonder at that particular racetrack when you look at the track records of those two at this particular racetrack, good luck to anybody staying near them. Even Ferrandis, I'm not sure how that's going to go.
Yeah, just at Pala. At any other track, look out. Dylan Ferrandis can run with anyone. Remember, Tomac and Sexton, they were there in 2021, and he dominated. He wrapped up the title early. I know that was the Cowie Tomac, who was kind of weird at that point, and Sexton was younger in his development. I get all that, but Ferrandis is a bad dude. Who else do you even bring up? Thanks to our sponsor, New Ray Toys. I can illustrate how many dudes are out. Are you guys ready? Let's see. I got a Eli Tomac number 3 toy. Not going to see that for a while. Oh, this guy. Hey, Aaron Plessinger. He's in. Aaron Plessinger's in. All right, thanks. So Aaron Plessinger, I totally forgot that he missed most of Supercross last year with an arm injury. He told me at Salt Lake City he wasn't even close to ready for the outdoor opener last year. Even though he had a little injury at the end of Supercross this year, he feels a lot better than he did a year ago at this time. And the bike obviously needed that 1 year of development. It got it. So, Matthes, what AP do we see? Can we see some surprises and be like, oh, wait a minute. We got another contender here.
Well, just simply looking at the competition, right? Like Anderson won't be there. Barcia, I don't think Barcia's going to be there. I know the TLD guys are hoping. I mean, why can't he be a top 5 guy to start the series? He's feeling healthier than he did last year, right? He's really good at Ironman. So the final round of this year, he's going to be really good. We know that. It's all the others in between. But, I mean, I think AP will just be what he is. He's consistent. He's a 5 to 10 guy. With the guys out right now, he can jump up into that 4th and 5th spot easily. When you look at this field, it is not deep starting the season. We're going to get some guys back, but to start, I mean, AP could end up with the podium if he gets the right breaks at Paula. I really believe that.
Where are you with AP, JT?
Yeah, I think more than anything, it's the field. I don't expect him to have any sort of, outlier type race. I don't think it's going to be a defining moment for him and anything like that. I just think when you look at the field, he's a much better rider than a lot of the people that are going to also be there. And then most of the guys that you would slot in front of him aren't going to be there. Roczen, Tomac, but just look at the guys we've lost in the last month. Webb, just go down the list. It's an incredible list of heavy hitters that aren't going to be there.
Yeah, I got a bunch right here. Look at Anderson.
Right.
No?
Yep.
Let's see what else I got here. Malcolm Stewart. No, thanks to New Ray Toys for all this. Let's see here. Roczen.
Richard Craig. You got
and Roczen. No, that's an old RCH Suzuki, but close enough.
Also, shout out. No Alex Martin this year. No Alex Martin either.
Sport has changed, and Cooper Webb. But one interesting thing, because of this Super Motocross playoffs that are coming up, there should be more incentive for dudes to at least try to scratch out 3 or 4 rounds for points. JT, do you think that might change things a little bit, where at least dudes come back when they could have written off the whole season?
Yeah, maybe you get some one-off rounds here and there, and they're looking at the points and strategically jumping in and out. It's such a new wrinkle. It's hard to say how people are going to respond.
I don't mean in and out. I mean, like, if you're reasonably healed and you're at 80% on August 1st,
coming back
and race the last 4 where ordinarily you wouldn't.
Yeah, I think so. For nothing else, just as a warm-up for SMX. We have to remember there's $5 million up for grabs over the course of 3 races, right? So even if you're not in a championship contention or anything, like $5 million will bring people out of the woodworks that were maybe looking at taking some more time off. So, but yes, and specifically to your AP question, I'm kind of looking at the results from last year. I don't see many people that are going to finish in front of him. And then the guys that are racing aren't necessarily 100% either, like an Cianciarulo. It's not like he's been on fire lately. He's still fighting this arm thing. AP beat him soundly at the final round of the year in Salt Lake City. So if you told me that he got 4th at the opener, even though he's not even 100%, I would be like, okay, I can see that. I don't know where to place him right now. I think we're going to all be looking at the live timing on Saturday morning in Southern California going, whoa, it's not very deep here. And in the spirit of that, I think a lot of guys have an opportunity to get a lot of points early.
Okay, so other guys coming back, maybe Webb. We expect maybe Anderson and Barcia. They could slot ahead of AP. What do you think about the Webb conundrum here, JT? Do you think we will see him?
I personally don't. I could be wrong. Of course, he rode a lot of motocross last summer when I was kind of like, it was curious to me how much motocross was practicing all summer. But I think between the expected team change, I think he's leaving Red Bull KTM. And then you look at the rumors of him maybe going and racing some other races throughout the summer. I just don't think it's the perfect backdrop to get the testing required, show up, and go race pro motocross. So we'll see. He would be a great addition. I hope it happens. But I'll say unlikely.
Okay. I'm going to lean the other way. I think he had some plans. I don't know if they're going to work out. And in the meantime, he can run out the string with his current contract, get paid, race those SMX rounds, get paid even more. And I know an impending team switch makes it seem like, well, why would he come back but we literally just saw Chase Sexton in the exact same position win the Supercross title for a team he's probably not coming back to. So we've seen this play out many times. Cooper's situation is different, but I at first would think no chance, but now I'm starting to lean the other way. I disagree with you, Matthes. I don't feel that Barcia, Anderson are so superior to Plessinger outdoors that if they come back off injury, that they're going to quickly slot ahead of them. In fact, I don't know if they'll slot in ahead of them the whole time. So I would not go there. And I feel like Plessinger, if you're, let's say you're just behind Ferrandis, Sexton, and Lawrence, podiums and wins can easily happen with just the right break here and there. So I'm higher on AP's chances, I think, than maybe some others. Here we go. Steve, might be time here. Might be time here to start making some predictions. So we're gonna pick title guys. We'll get into some other detailed dudes. Cianciarulo, we have to mention him just real quick on his situation. Did you hear from him that his arm problem might not be quite as bad? Might not be quite as bad outdoors because of whoops. Is that what you had said?
I'll get into that in a second, but just an update. Barcia beat AP in 16 out of 24 motos last year. Obviously, he had that disqualification that kind of hurt him. But, yeah, anyways, moving on. Yeah, AC, definitely that arm issue is still something going on. He did get some stem cell treatments for it in Kansas after the second last Supercross after Denver. And we'll see if that happens. But, yes, he has told me that whoops are the big factor. Those are the things that hurt him, and it goes numb after a while. So outdoors are better for him. I propositioned him that maybe, like Mike Alessi, he's just an outdoor guy. wasn't really having that.
Okay.
Didn't want to hear that. But, you know, I mean, seriously, look at his 450 outdoors. I mean, they've been solid, right? He obviously finished runner-up to Zacho there. And then the year that Ferrandis won, he was up front at times. And, you know, like, I think we'll see a better AC because of the arm. And I do think there's something about maybe being a little more comfy outdoors. He doesn't want to hear it, but check the record book, AC.
We're going to find out real quick. It's unfortunate for him that it always looks like in Supercross it's a fitness thing because the last half of the race is never good. But we're going to find out, is it literally just whoops, make the arm feel bad, and then remove that, and the fitness is not a problem? He tells me that he's maybe as fit as he's ever been. Maybe you're right. Yeah, top 20 or 2020 feels like a long time ago, but he was going toe-to-toe for this title in all the motos outdoors against Osborne. Maybe we shouldn't be sleeping on Adam quite as much.
See that jersey right over my shoulder? That was the jersey he was wearing when he was checking out at Loretta Lynn's. And then he crashed. Yeah. But that is the jersey. It's got the mud on it and everything. So he's done it.
They got the Loretta soil on there. Okay. Yeah. We'll make title picks in a moment. Let's just run down some others. So Ken Roczen, as mentioned, not in. But his team is still there. Correct, Steve? There will be a 450 Suzuki team out there.
Well, first of all, before we get too far into it, thank you to Maxima, Dogger Rules, national champion, whether it's SC1, whether it's a MPPL. They have this Sea Otter. They put beer in an SC1 can, and I have a can here. Great company, great guys. Pulp 20 is the code to save at MaximaUSA.com. Okay. Love those guys, and great stuff, obviously.
My favorite product right here, chain cleaner. This chain cleaner, you don't have to wash your bike. You just spray this chain cleaner on your chain, and it's like a pressure washer in a can. So it really helps with the bike maintenance. So shout out Maximo, my favorite product.
Did they give you that after that photo you sent of your kid's chain?
Believe it or not, I have not been given any of this. I went to my local shop and bought Maximo with my own money. Mini Bike Dad. But I do want to shout out, I got mini bike tires from the folks at Matthes. Here is my Matthes when the rubber meets the road segment. I feel like it's got to be Dylan Ferrandis right now. There's no one else in this field, I think, that it was in a make or break situation for their career. I don't think Sexton or Lawrence have to worry about their future. Cianciarulo, it's going to be physical or not. He can either do it or not. I think Ferrandis wants to reprove that he's as good as anyone in the world outdoors on a 450. So I think that's the critical juncture. Ferrandis, I don't think he's going to be happy if he does anything but win this title. So that's my Matthes rubber meets the road.
Hold on. JT. Hold on. I was going to talk about Hep. I wanted to talk about Hep.
All right. Go ahead. Give me your Suzuki guys. Who's on the team?
Kenny's gone. Racing World Supercross. Hopefully his knee's all right. But that team is still racing the motocross series, which is awesome. They are going to have maybe the most underrated rider this summer under that tent. This gentleman was a factory Honda rider at times and ran top fives. And he is from Sweden. and he is an outdoor warrior. Fred Noren has picked up a HEP Twisted T ride and going to be on the outdoor team for them, as well as Marshall Welton. Welton had a tough Supercross season, but he is a better outdoor guy, and 450 should suit him. But Freddie Noren, everybody, if you are looking for a Pulp MX fantasy sleeper, if you want to bet your buddies that Freddie will be top 10 at Paula, whatever kind of bet you want to make, Freddie is a sleeper. Let's do this, Fred.
All right, so there it is. There will be the Twisted T Suzuki team at the races with Marshall Welton and Noren on 450s and some 250 riders as well. JT, Fly Racing, 25th anniversary of the Fly Racing line. That's a pretty cool deal. We'll talk a little more about some Fly Racing riders in our 250 show. I know hopes are high, for example, with RJ Hampshire. You'll have the rookie coming on board for his first full season in Chance Hymas with Team Honda. But 25th anniversary, that's a pretty big deal for you guys, right?
Yeah, it's a long time coming, right? Obviously, 25 years is a long run we've had, and we've had to do a lot of reflecting over the last few months. We're going to be putting out a kind of a 25th anniversary documentary of the beginnings and how it's touched different people's lives and their perspectives on the course of the brand and where it started and where hopefully we're headed to. So that's been fun, and it's given me a chance to learn things, kind of think about. I'm so wrapped up and intertwined in the daily things that go on to take more of a big picture macro look at the brand. But it's been really fun, and it's something I'm very, very proud of. Of course, we have our 2023 line. Our 2024 line is in staging right now, which will come out this August. But it's been really awesome. We've gotten to talk to so many people that have since retired and departed the company and all these things, but we've got to bring all of them back into the fold, talk about their experiences, and I didn't know how much more about the brand I could learn, and I've learned a lot. So yeah, it's been truly something cool.
All right, I have a question. Which Fly Racing rider could score points right now in motocross? Bradshaw, Brock Sellards,
neither of those two.
Weston Pike?
No, none of those three.
Or you.
No, I definitely can't. I definitely can't.
All right.
Best shot at it would probably be Weston, but I don't know where he is at with his eye. That worries me a little bit.
Okay. I'm just checking.
I would like to see Bradshaw try. I can give you that. I'll like to see Bradshaw try. Go ahead, Steve.
Hold on. Okay, so when do we do our title picks? I know this is a loose program. When do we do that?
It's coming soon.
I was trying to get there. Yeah.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Who wins motos this year? Ferrandis? Yes. Lawrence? Yes. Sexton? Yes. I think all three of us can agree on that. Even JT and I can come together on those three winning motos this summer.
Just don't bring up Elon. That's all. We'll be good. Just don't bring up Elon.
Do we see any other moto winners? Like, obviously, Anderson and Barcia are going to race, and they're going to be healthier.
And they're going to be ahead of AP, apparently.
Yeah, and they'll be ahead of AP. Like, what other riders win motos this summer?
Yeah, I'm going Plessinger. You give the right track, the right circumstance.
Wow.
He's fine.
Okay.
Yes. Dude, last year was a disaster for the KTM team. Be much better this year.
I will say we only get those three.
I will only
get those three.
Ooh.
I will go Adam Cianciarulo and Justin Barcia.
Wow, you're going to go five.
Yeah, 24 motos, 5 winners, sure.
No, 22. But I'll go
22.
I'll go those three because I think when you look at where Sexton, the guy he's morphed into, he's going to win a lot. I think we know that. And then you look at Jett, like his track record of consistency, he's not a guy that throws races away. Like he's kind of always there at the front. And I think when you add in the great start, grid, however you want to phrase it, start, that really adds a level of consistency to the start. So I think you're going to see those guys at the front all the time, like all summer, because there's not different dirt and different things and all these things. So they're going to get great jumps and great starts all year. And like, are they both going to crash? And then Ferrandis is going to crash on top of that. I don't think anybody's going to come up and just pass those guys and go faster. So you're going to need some sort of outlier event. If we get a full mutter, I lose that prediction. But outside of that, I just don't see it. I think those guys they're in too good of a place, and they are head and shoulders better than everybody else. Those two specifically, and then Ferrandis is the wild card. Like maybe Ferrandis catches fire and is the best of all three of them. I don't know.
Yeah, but JT, we saw Kenny win a moto last year. We saw Anderson win a moto, right?
But those guys, right? But those guys aren't in a good place. Is more my point, right?
No.
You give
I know that, but I'm just saying we get the weirdo stuff. This isn't RC going 24 for 24.
But to me, I understand your point. It's a good one. But I'm looking more situationally. Like Anderson's not healthy. Barcia's not healthy. AP's not healthy. Like the guys that we could see make a move and get the win are nowhere close. And the best guys, especially the top two, are 100%.
We're racing in August. They got time. We're good. But let the record show, let the record show, JT said good point for me. Let the record
But it
show.
is right.
25th anniversary. It took that long.
We do race into August, but they're going to have so much ground to make up on guys that I would say are better to start with than them, and they're going to have to play catch up all summer. So maybe you're right. Maybe I'm just saying I don't think it's going to happen for XYZ reason. We'll see what happens.
Right. What about you, Weech? Where are you at with moto winners?
Dudes that come back mid-season. It usually doesn't go very well unless they're back real early. I know Barcia, they're thinking could be back.
Barcia and Anderson are coming back real early. They are.
But they can't even ride right now. Like they are falling behind day after day after day. Okay. And I think it's going to be longer than you do. I don't think Barcia is going to come back from broken ribs and all sorts of broken things and just pop in there and be good to go within a few weeks. I don't see that personally, but we'll see. I know he's going to try.
That's why we're sitting on AP winning motos. That's why we're sitting on this number 7 right here.
So Weech, you have four moto winners, Weech? JT has 3?
Do I have to name them, or could I say I believe there will be 5, and I believe 4 of them will be AP, Sexton, Lawrence, and Ferrandis, and let me just keep one open. Can I just leave that's open?
Perfect. Then nobody's parents will get upset. Perfect.
I just think, like you said, there will be some strange scenario where someone steals a moto, but it's so hard to know who it's going to be because we don't even know how many dudes are going to make it back and race.
But you could just pick 4.
It's easy.
Just pick 4 of them.
It's easy.
We'll have 5
Cianciarulo and Justin Barcia. It's easy. Yeah.
AP, baby. All right. Is it time for title picks? Because we definitely got the argument stirring here. So it's a good time for that. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm going to prevent the parents from arguing because I don't even know who Dylan Ferrandis' parents are. So I could be equal opportunity here. If I pick Dylan Ferrandis to win the title, it allows me to not even weigh in on the Sexton versus Lawrence thing. So go do you, Dylan Ferrandis. Here we go right here. I got the new Ray toys, the number 14. Let's make it rain like it's 2021 again. Dylan Ferrandis, you're a 450 motocross champ. It's going to shock the world against Lawrence and Sexton. That's my pick.
You cannot be serious.
I just said it.
JT, honestly, he cannot. Like this
on the Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing Bike of the Year. Some would say Bike of the Year. Some would say Bike of the Year. Some would say it's a guy who dominated in 2021.
All right. Okay. So. Also,
and no, I don't have to have Kier Sexton or Dazzy Lawrence mad because I didn't pick either kid over each other. And I don't know Ferrandis' parents, so I'm good there.
All right. Also, can we touch on how many motos does our buddy Phil Nicoletti complete in the top 10 when he comes back?
Is he coming back?
Yes, he's coming back.
Okay. He's on Bike of the Year, Yamaha in the 450 class.
Yep.
This is a devastating wrist injury. I know he started riding essentially 2 weeks before outdoors began. What is he saying? Red Bud-ish, he might return?
Yeah.
Red Bud, yep.
So
I don't know what does the top 10 look like by then? Who's back?
That's what I'm saying. So we got 11 motos for our buddy Phil. Let's go 5 top 10s for him.
I was going 5 also. That's interesting. Yep.
All right, fine.
Motos.
I'll go 6 so I can win win the bet.
Weech, honestly. So now we need your title pick.
That was it right there. He raced a lot of these guys in 21. He won with a moto to spare.
You don't think Ferrandis is a fair pick?
No, I don't. I think it's pandering.
Really?
It's pandering to Yamaha. It's pandering to Monster. It's pandering to Dylan and his parents and his wife and yeah.
I mean, he won the series 2 years ago. Like, I don't think it's outlandish.
Sexton was there. Tomac was there. He won by an entire moto. He wrapped the title up early against them. How is this ridiculous?
He's 1 season away from that dominance. Like it's not a crazy pick.
Okay, I look forward to your title pick, JT. Go ahead.
I truly don't know. I know that.
How you like that one, Steve?
Jeez.
No, I know. Like I wish I had a magic 8-ball because I have no idea. I don't think it's going to be Ferrandis. Okay, I'll rule those two out. I'll rule him out. It's going to be between Jett and Chase, and I have gone back and forth ever since we decided to do these videos about who between these two was going to win. The only way I think Chase loses is if he beats himself. Jett is going to be really solid and really consistent, and he's going to put a ton of pressure on Chase to be mistake-free. But I think Chase is going to have motos where he's just gone. Like he is just so fast that no one beats him. So that's where it comes down to me. Can Chase avoid the big mistake where he gives Jett points that he can't claw back? And I know it's awful. This is not good video radio prediction. I just don't know how it goes. But I will say it's going to be between one of those two. And I hope we're rolling into Ironman at the last round going, who's going to win this thing? Because I could totally see it going that way. I just don't have a strong opinion. And I apologize for it, but I don't have one.
I just want to smash my computer right now.
Why?
Okay, I got one
like,
guy.
There's no like hard case you can make where you're like, you're wrong. It's going to be.
He's about to. Here we go. We go. Make the hard case how you can draw the line between Sexton and Lawrence. Ferrandis not even in the conversation.
It's just, I mean, this isn't binding in a court of law, guys.
I want to be right. That's all.
Wow. Look, Ferrandis cannot stay healthy. 5 out of 6 series. He just can't do it. So he's got to show me that he can stay healthy again. I do think he can definitely run top 3 and win some motos, but can he stay healthy? That's the question. Contract year for him as well, so it's a big thing. Look, I'll go just like I went Tomac over Sexton last year. I'll always go with the guy that's done it before versus especially the rookie. JT's point about Jett not throwing it away and being consistent is absolutely correct. However, history has also shown, whether it's Eli Tomac or whether it's Chase Sexton when they first jump into 450s or really almost anybody outside of Ricky Carmichael, is there are mistakes made in your rookie 450 year. So Jett will make some mistakes and Chase will take the title. He will be there. He was as good as it came last year. And I would give Chase Sexton the championship, and the Sexton ship will continue to sail on all across America in the outdoors.
I hate to say that you did pick Sexton to win the Supercross title on these videos, but you did. You did.
I did, but it did take a momentous injury at the second to last round to get it done. So, I look like a genius, but it's not like that was really planned.
I cannot believe you admitted the facts behind that correct prediction. I cannot believe, I don't know what is happening. JT nearly agreed with you, and you had a chance to stomp on everybody, and you stepped away from the stomping. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay classy.
Oh, yeah, known for that. Yeah. Okay, so thanks to our sponsors, that is Matthes. Hey, they got a new tire they developed, huh? All year.
Brand new tire. A-Ray's been running it in Supercross, and they did a debut at Paris Raceway yesterday. The King was there, Axel Hodges, A-Ray, all of that. Yeah, new tire from the folks at Matthes. They're very excited about it.
Do we want to talk about Alex Ray, who is racing outdoors? We want to talk about him outdoors at all?
JT is so negative on our buddy A-Ray.
I'm not.
It's disappointing. You just kept shaking your head, said this isn't going to end well. This isn't going to end well.
It usually doesn't.
That
doesn't mean I'm negative. That doesn't mean I'm negative. I'm just realistic.
It's not going to end well. Doesn't mean he's negative. Okay, got it.
It doesn't. No, that is the typical end result of A-Ray's racing.
He's just saying it's facts.
In this field, our buddy could go like 15-15.
But hold on a second. A-Ray hasn't been practicing. He is not healthy. He is older than he's ever been. And you just think it's magically going to go really well? Like, I don't think that's a fair assessment to say, he'll just go 15-15.
I didn't say it, Paula, but just at some point. Let's hope he also comes back and our buddy Phil comes back and then A-Ray beats Phil in a moto, because I'm here for that also.
Oh, that would be wild. I would be here for that combo. All right, that's our show. Thanks to Matthes. Thanks to Maxima. Thanks to New Ray Toys. Fly Racing. Yep. And Monster Energy, our title sponsor, as always, they're the presenting sponsor of the Pro Motocross Championship this year. Watch it all on Peacock. It's literally that simple. Watch it all on Peacock. They've picked 2 men out of the 3 that are on this video to be a part of the television production. Myself and Jason Thomas will be at all the races. I'll be joined by Ricky Carmichael and James Stewart in the booth all summer long. JT, you got one of these number 1 plates from Supercross for all our great
I do.
Cool.
I do. It's at the office. I'm currently working on some sort of shrine for it. Steve, do you have one of those?
Enjoy the money, guys, that you take to sell out. I hope you maybe buy a swimming pool and we just case. They'll put it in the bank. Whatever it takes, guys. I'll be the true lone voice of independent media, calling it like it is.
Okay, either way you want it, true independent voice, or people like us who are trained, paid professionals get to watch it all on Peacock. Or if you're outside the U.S., it's called the Super Motocross Video Pass. Get it, watch it every weekend, 1 o'clock, of course, local times on Saturday, and practice shows from 10 to 11 local time every Saturday as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Monster and New Ray and Maxis and Maxima and Fly Racing. And we'll be back with a 250 show next.